Hey, everybody, on the show today, Armen the Sponge. Sorry, Armen Hammer, ladies and gentlemen.
Sponge? What?
I just thought, what's the opposite of a hammer?
I
Because UFC is at a place happening right now. The UFC is putting on events this weekend called Fight Island, which sounded like a joke at first from CEO Dana White. But it's actually happening in Abu Dhabi, which is where the Spartan World Championships were going to be. It was a huge deal. Spartan signed this deal, Armen. In our world, our world championships have always been in Vermont or Lake Tahoe, and it's literally the biggest event of the year, right? It's like
right. Like world championships are generally the biggest.
I know, but a lot, but in OCR we have a lot of world championships.
Okay, fair enough.
But
you know what they say about Abu Dhabi?
Once you go Abu Dhabi, you never go back? What do you mean?
It's the Vermont of the Middle East.
Exactly. So I was excited. I was thinking of going. When they first announced it, people lost their minds. Oh my God, they hate women. They're going to shoot you in the street if you wear booty shorts. Like, there was all this craziness. I had some athletes who lived there come on and dispelled a lot of those myths. And then COVID happened, and they're saying they took the website off the board. Like, you can't register for this race anymore. And we're trying to find a new place, and we'll see where that is, but it's not going to be Abu Dhabi. But Fight Island is moving forward. And because it's happening this weekend, I thought you and I could both take a look at how things are going over there, what's happening, and how this could work in terms of, protocols for future events, something like the CrossFit Games.
Right.
Our sport doesn't have the money to do the length and breadth that these guys are doing, but I feel like the games maybe could.
No,
they won't either.
I'm going to go ahead and dispel that myth right now. Here's the barrier for entry of doing something like Fight Island, right? The barrier for entry for using a place like Abu Dhabi and creating your own environment that is a bubble within which you can hold your entire sport is a sport that is valued at billions of dollars, right? And you and I, we're in the sports that are valued at like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Even if they did like a reduced, even just the top 40 men and women, like even that, you don't think they would do some like, let's just take a look. It'll be fun. Listen, this will be fun. And I like trying new things. I like experimenting. Sometimes new areas I experiment with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you sent me a really weird picture this morning, man. I did not need to know how hairy your chest was.
Most people know. Most people at this point know. So let's pull up this bad boy. Oh, where's this video?
It's like you're part Armenian. Are you part Armenian, Matt B. Davis? Matt B. Davisian?
My people are from the desert. I'm a Jewish person.
Oh, well, yeah. So, yeah, we're like cousins.
Right? I mean, I can't grow a sweet mullet, though. Mine goes up. It's like the Jew fro, as we call it. That's what I get.
Do you know what the beautiful thing about a mullet is?
Everybody thinks you're hot.
Every hairstyle is either a mullet or on its way to being a mullet. So, in a way, you're kind of on the path, buddy.
Well, I just noticed that your hairline is about the same as mine.
Yeah, I've got a bit of.
Aren't you like in your 20s? Aren't you like a kid?
Yeah, I'm actually 17.
Actually, my last name was Davisinium. We were Armenian and then we changed it.
Yeah, I believe it. You've got that chest hair where when you get out of a pool, you're still dry.
That's me. Okay, you're ready to make this magic happen?
Absolutely. Okay. Show me.
I'm going to have you be sort of the main commentator and I'll be the color guy for this. How about that? Does that sound good?
I don't know what that responsibility entails, but let's see what happens.
Okay, first I've got to share my screen. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, you go to the share screen button.
I'm totally joking.
And make sure that the audio is clicked. Otherwise,
that's the big one. That's the big one.
Professional broadcaster Matt B. Davisian.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
For some sweet B-roll from Fight Island?
Are we going to watch all 14 minutes of this?
We'll fast forward through a lot of it.
Okay.
Building. Okay, did you say something? I couldn't hear anything you said.
Yeah, I said they built it outdoors. Like they didn't even put it inside.
Yeah, it's on an island, bro. It's at a beach. I mean, if you could be at a beach, right? All right.
How much money do you think they spent on this?
Oh my God. I mean, just think about the production of just that ring. You know what I mean? Okay, so here, this is them like getting ready. This is we might skip some of this. I think when we hear sound, okay, this is showing the venue inside of the island. This kind of looks like, what do you call it? It kind of looks like Fire Island.
Yeah, very fire festival.
You're doing a bad job commentating on this.
Hold on. Pause for a second. First of all, I can barely hear myself think. So if you can turn the audio down just a little bit.
Okay, here's the problem. How do I turn the audio down on the video and not on you?
The little volume slider right above where right next to the play button is. Yeah, just slide that. Okay. Slide that to non-apocalyptic levels. All right. There we go. Now everyone who actually is going to listen to this or watch this is going to have a way better time. I'm going to tell you right now. So now I can actually speak over it.
Okay. We still haven't got to the good stuff. This is just like funsy B-roll. We still haven't got to the preparation stuff.
So now I'm confused as to what they're building inside, because we saw the ring is outside. So why do they have all this like truss and lighting?
Because you've got to, you know what? Maybe that ring is actually just ceremonial. Maybe that's that's literally just for the B-roll, and inside will actually be the fights.
Probably. I mean, I don't know, Matt B. Davis, but that sounds. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yas links. All right, so hang tight for a second. This is on Yas Island.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it means when you go there, they say, "You having fun?" You go, "Yes, Queen."
Yes. So there's actually a CrossFit gym there. This is a big deal. This place is like a legit place. Like, this
I knew I brought you on for a reason.
This isn't just some random place that they like decided to put this. This is like in the heart of the UAE. Like, this is the heart of Dubai, I guess, right? It would be Dubai, right? Yeah. So it's the heart of Dubai is where Yas Beach is.
Dubai is one country inside of the United Arab Emirates.
Correct. And Abu Dhabi is a place.
A city, I think. Here we go. Setting up the octagon. The guy had a wrench.
They showed us this already. Why are they showing us? Why are they showing us the same thing over?
There's a safe zone. Hang on.
I'm really confused what we're supposed to be getting out of this.
Well, here's the thing. They sent me so much B-roll, and I was trying to put it sort of in order. Like, I got shots coming up of them getting off the plane and stuff. So it's just like, hey, here's some. We'll wait. Here's some more. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Put your stuff on a bus. Okay, here we go.
So intense.
Okay, now here we go. This is the kind of stuff that's going to get exciting. Now you're going to now if you're watching at home, there's a plane moving very slowly. If you're listening at 1.5 speed, that probably sounded normal. So let me slow it down. Very slowly.
All right. So this is the live airport shot at Abu Dhabi International Airport. Up, airplane. It's coming across. It's posing for the camera. We've got UFC Fight Island flag being waved.
Okay, here we go. Now, first guy comes off mask. Dana White, no fucking mask. I'm Dana fucking White. I don't give a shit. Okay, there's the current champ right there.
Is that Usman?
Yes.
Kamaru Usman?
Right.
All right. Wait, so this is like now. This is happening like this week. So this footage is like right now.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I got the latest and greatest B-roll for you, buddy.
You, Matt B. Davis, you are a Renaissance man. Just media.
Wait, here comes the plane
empire.
again. I didn't realize the plane was coming in. Can we go back to the shot of like Dana couldn't have put it on just for looks, or do you think he's more of like a Trumpy, like you can't fucking make me wear a mask? Because like
I don't
other
think
people
Dana White
clearly
gives a shit about masks.
Because other people clearly had masks on, right? I mean,
But the fighters weren't wearing masks. Yeah, other people wearing masks. But
okay, first guy down carrying bags. Don't know who that is. Okay. Dana, nope. Usman, nope. Plane coming in again. These are a lot of I guess if you want plane shots, this is the shot for you. Here we go. Hey man, what's up?
What's going on? Hey guys, where am I? Hold on a second. Where's my luggage? I left my mask. Does anybody have a mask I can borrow? I'm gonna punch you if you don't give me a mask right now. It's gonna be like this. I'm gonna go left, right, left, left, right. Oh wow,
Now,
the people wearing the flag, holding the flags, were wearing like full PPE.
You down with PPE?
You know me.
It's you know me. Come on, Armen.
That was close enough.
Okay. I mean, this
is awful.
But again, imagine you're just a boring news channel and you're going to show 3 seconds of all of these.
All of this sucks. I'm literally falling asleep.
But wait, there's a wellness ambassador. Now, as a wellness ambassador, so not a medical professional, the stewardesses, they just threw a smock on them and called them wellness ambassadors?
How dare you? She's wearing a beret and full PPE. So she's like Special Forces wellness ambassador.
Okay, here we go. Lots of shots of seats. Wow, they went nuts on that.
I think they're trying to plug Etihad.
Yeah, this is definitely like Etihad's an airline, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! Oh, more champion.
Okay, so basically they just have a ton of footage of the same event happening, of like this plane landing with only one person on it.
Gideon!
Wait, new shot. Once you commentate.
We finally got rid of all the airplane. Thank God you got rid of that audio. We finally got rid of all the airplane shots, and now we're just watching buses slowly roll. You know what's better than watching a bus slowly roll down the street?
2 of them?
Watching 2 buses slowly roll down the street. Oh, now we're inside the bus. We're arriving at the UFC Fight Mansion Palace in the island of Fight Island.
Do you think they flew in the pros for this? By pros, I think you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. The pros?
You know
what I mean by pros? No, I don't know.
You want to describe what we're looking at?
We're looking at people in full PPE unloading luggage off of a bus.
Now, if you've seen the movie E.T.,
yeah,
there's these men in suits that came and grabbed E.T. and tested on him, and they were scary as fuck.
What I don't understand is why that guy is wearing full PPE but no gloves. Like they're wearing face shields, face masks, hair masks, the full getup, so that and they're wearing.
Oh, look what he's doing! Did you see that?
Yeah, he's like spraying the luggage down, but none of them are wearing gloves.
No, it looks like, is that air? What is that?
No, it's like a disinfectant.
That's air.
No, but it's attached to like a tank that has disinfectant in it for sure. That's the women's champion, isn't it?
Tia Claire Toomey?
Yeah, nailed it. She's going to Fight Island to start her UFC career.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk about everything going on. Took my time making this video.
Are you seriously doing this right now? Are you making fun of Tia Claire Toomey?
I'm doing an Australian accent.
That's, first of all, she's a treasure. So you can't.
Are you kidding me? Me and my wife just watched. And my wife is not into fitness. My wife is a bodybuilder, as you probably know, but she does not watch that stuff. And we watched Tia Claire Toomey, what I eat in a day. Like we watched that video.
Yeah, how was it?
Stacy was like, she does all the same shit I do.
Of course.
right? Uses my
Nutrition
Fitness
is nutrition.
Pal. Uses my Fitness Pal. Goes to Chipotle, right? Here I am at Chipotle. I've got. Oh, forget it.
Okay, so now we're watching people walk through the airport again. These people are obviously on the B list because they're collecting their own luggage
Oh shit!
from. They didn't get to like step off the plane to buses. They just went to baggage claim.
Okay, here are we now. What are we at now, Dario? I
It
mean,
looks like
Armen.
What did you call me?
Dario, who I talk to every morning these days. Sorry. Shout out to Dario.
It looks like hotel registration, checking in at a hotel.
In the future, it looks like checking into a hotel on Mars.
That is a good point. I did not mention at all. It's like a bright white room, and all the people who work there are dressed in full PPE, face shields, face masks.
This is what's on the overhead system right now. Welcome to Mars. Your UFC fight will begin in 20 minutes.
Dude, you know what's better than Fight Island?
Fight Hotel?
Planet.
Fight Planet.
Yeah.
There's only 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can make it all the way through.
Oh God. I missed a FaceTime call from Hunter, and this makes me just want to FaceTime him back right now. Okay, so it's just a very boring check-in registration process with a bunch of people who you can't recognize because they're all wearing face masks.
Oh wait, here we go.
Okay, here's Usman's last entrance to a UFC fight.
Here's what's his name?
This must be from his last fight,
which he won.
I'm sure he won.
We're gonna fast forward to.
I don't know anything about his last fight, but it looks like he won. Yeah, his hands are up.
UFC welterweight champion of the world, Cameroon, the Nigerian Nightmare.
Wait a minute, he's the Nigerian Nightmare?
That's pretty badass. That's a great nickname, Nigerian Nightmare.
Dude, that's Christian Okoye.
Who's Christian Okoye? If you tell me that's some like OCR runner named the Nigerian Nightmare.
Christian Okoye was a fullback. He's like 6'3", 400 pounds, and he just ran over people.
That's pretty cool.
He's the fucking Nigerian Nightmare.
I mean, that's kind of heavy for a fullback.
He wasn't that heavy. But here at the end is the stats. This is what I wanted to show you. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's go back to this.
Here we go. Show me the stats. Oh, it's a video of a PDF. Perfect.
Well, I could just show you screenshots of the PDF, but I threw it in here in the video.
I love it.
All right. Well, let's do it. Let's do what Armen does. He reads things to people, which is definitely what people watch videos for. This is your wheelhouse. You love reading things.
Are you being sarcastic right now? Because
yes, I don't understand the concept of reading an entire thing. I thought we would maybe have a few highlights, but you like read things to people.
Okay, how much of this do you want me to read?
Nothing.
All just stuff really boring.
I mean, on a podcast, it makes sense somewhat, but like on
let's
videos,
see. Yas Island is 9.6 square miles. It was born in 2009.
Wait a minute. It was born?
It was born in 2009.
Who's its mom?
This island isn't even legal.
It's like no stranger to international events.
Right?
Wait a minute. Warner Brothers World? So is that like a shitty Disney?
How dare you? There's also Ferrari World and Yas Water World. And the F1, the Abu Dhabi F1 circuit is there. Do you watch F1? Now that's a real sport.
Is that car racing?
Dude, you have no idea. You got to go watch Drive to Survive. Let's stop talking about anything that, either of us actually cover on a regular basis, and let's only talk about Drive to Survive, which is the show on Netflix.
World Theme Park in Yas Island. It's everything you've imagined. Well, that's great, except that I don't know what I would have imagined in there. Like, what do you get? The Animaniacs? Like, what do you get in Warner Brothers World?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And also Batman. And also
there's Fast and Furious, like Fast and Furry, Tom and Jerry Twist Swiss Cheese Spin. I'm going to cut to graphics, by the way, of these rides. Did you love the graphic I had of you, by the way? Did you watch that video I made?
No, I did not watch that video. What video was it?
God, you're such a jerk.
What are you talking about? I'm not a jerk. What did I do?
You're a jerk. I made a video talking about how I'm going to handle these Murph things moving on, and a lot of it was inspired by you.
Oh, okay.
And so I used a great picture of you And I said, please watch this video. You said, why don't you make it in the airport? And I did, and it sounded great.
Oh, yeah. You sent me the link. I didn't watch that.
You're a bad friend.
I'm not a bad friend. I'm not a bad friend.
I don't say listen to every one of my podcasts, but this was specific about stuff we had talked about.
Listen, things are moving quick. It's hard to keep up. There's a lot going on.
That's what you need me for. Fuck you. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the next slide. About the safe zone. All right, I think you should read these first two bullets. This is important.
All right, the safe zone, AKA UFC Fight Island. So actually, it's not called Fight Island. It's just called the safe zone. Cool. An 11-kilometer stretch of Yas Island will be locked down with borders and police checkpoints, allowing no entry to Abu Dhabi residents. 2,500. What? Allowing no entry to Abu Dhabi residents. 2,500 plus UFC personnel, event staff, and Yas Island employees will be housed within the safe zone throughout the period of the event. All Abu Dhabi staff undertook a 14-day hotel room isolation and achieved 3 negative COVID-19 tests to ensure the safest possible environment. Wow. This is really over the top, but hell yeah. Go Dana White.
But did you know that entertainment features include kayaking, all-day dining? They have the #1 ranked golf course in the Middle East.
And the number 46 ranked golf course in the world. Top 50.
There's 10 hotels, health and safety. Here we go.
Oh, you want me to read that?
I was going to read it. 3 medical facilities and 17 medical personnel. Over 2,000 COVID-19 tests performed on Fight Island. Approximately 3,300 pre-departure and on-site COVID-19 antigen tests. Wow, that's a lot.
Is it?
Okay, this is what you got to do. Check out what you got to do. 1 test pre-departure to Abu Dhabi, 1 test at the airport, 1 test at the hotel, 1 test prior to the event, and 1 test post-event pre-departure from Abu Dhabi. So you will get tested 5 times while you're there.
Yeah, and the test, you get to the hotel and you have a 48-hour quarantine period required.
Well, it says 24 to 48, which is sort of a big range. Nightly temperature checks. Face coverings must be worn at all times in public unless you're the owner of the company.
Yeah.
Or the reigning champion.
Wow.
So you don't think, hang on, let's look at this last one. Oh, now there's just talking points in the fights. So you
Wait, go back to the one before that. I want to see what that interior, yeah. Flash Forum is, I was reading that and you changed it. There we go. Flash Forum is well placed to
That's a building, I think, Flash Forum it's called.
Okay. So now I'm still really confused. So Flash Forum is where the fights are going to be, for sure. Because that's where the ring is and it's inside. That's where all the lights are. Okay, so that's where that interior place was. So
I'm guessing, how about this? What if the lower cards are at that indoor one and the main card is outside?
That could work, I guess. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. I don't see that happening because you'd have to have 2 sets of judges. You'd have to have 2 sets.
Well, they're not at the same time. You know what I mean? Like one day, like there's fights this weekend, right? Then there's fights next weekend. You see what I'm saying?
Is it like the fights that they did in Orlando, like at the beginning of all this, where they did a UFC like every night for a week?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, or 3 weekends in a row.
Is that what it is? It's 3 weekends in a row?
Well, we didn't. You're now yawning on my program. You're a horrible guest.
I'm tired. What do you want me to say?
All right, so listen, we both have shit to do. This is something you can do, and you can tell your listeners too, but you're so selfish you probably won't. I'm actually donating blood today. You can donate blood, which they need, and you get tested. You get a COVID-19 antibody test. So it's win-win. You give, and you get a test out of it, all free. So I'm doing that in an hour and a half.
Cool. Let me know how that goes. Do you think you've had it before?
I got tested, how long ago now? 2 months ago, and I had never had it. Like when I've gone on 2 trips since then. So we'll see. I got on 1 trip when I first got tested. I've never had a symptom, but that doesn't mean that I don't have it. So we're going to find out. But anyone listening, free. Just go to redcross.org. And they have multiple days, like multiple things. Like if you have a certain kind of blood, you can give platelets or red something. But I don't know what kind of blood I have, which I should find out when I give this time. And you just donate blood.
That's a really good suggestion, Matt. I think that's a good way of giving back to the community.
Redcross.org. And you get a test free.
So
So
you'd be giving blood no matter what.
well, I remember after 9/11 I gave, and then I was on the mailing list. So I went like once every 6 weeks, like clockwork. Like
Wow.
they'd give me a call and be like, hey, it's due. This is before texting was a thing. Like now they probably send you a text. So last time we talked, Armen.
Last time we talked, you told me you're never going to have me on the show again. And yet here we are.
Glassman had stepped down. No, Glassman had stepped down, but we didn't have a buyer. Now we have a buyer. I don't even want to talk.
Sure?
Well, it's in the process of happening, right?
Oh, I mean, are you sure that the last time we talked, we didn't have a buyer?
No, you didn't. That's why I was so mad, because it literally happened the next day. As in, probably when we get off this call, something else huge will happen.
I guarantee it.
But your buddy, Dave Castro.
That's a generous term, but okay.
Got on the Fighting Fitness podcast. What is it? Elite Fitness?
Talking Elite Fitness. Fighting Fitness.
That sounds like a show you would make up as a joke. Talking Elite Fitness.
I didn't make it up.
Talking Calm Fitness. Talking Fitcom.
Talking Community Fitness.
And he said, well, geez, you guys made Glassman step down. What's next? You're going to fire me because I designed a bad workout? I mean, certainly being a horrible sexual harasser is the same thing as designing a bad workout. And God, what do you guys expect from me? Like, did he not fucking say that?
He basically did say that, actually. He did basically say that. Yeah.
Here's a guy. Now, here's a guy. Here's a guy who a lot of people don't like for a lot of reasons. And the thing that comes up for me, Armen, is this is what happens when you live in a bubble, speaking of bubbles, and don't have anyone around you kind of talking about what's going on. Because if you somehow equate getting rid of someone who's been inappropriate, accused of being inappropriate with a lot of people, having a environment that's sexually wrong, like all the things that like the reckoning is happening for in Me Too. And the thing that you think to say is, well, geez, guys, you made him step down. What are you going to do to me if I show up late? I mean, like, what fucking planet are you on, dude? Even if you think that, because you might, you don't say it, and you then come to your senses and go, oh, this is a really good thing we got rid of this guy. Now let's make the company great. Oh, yeah, we did have a guy. Because I said to you, why didn't he talk more about that? And you let him off the hook. You said, it's fine you didn't talk about that. Because there's all these other problems to fix.
Now I'm really confused. What did we? Oh, yeah, that's right. We did. I know. I remember. See, we had the buyer because you were really pissed that he wasn't, that he wasn't coming off as super pissed.
Not pissed, but just addressing it. But let's leave him out of it and let's talk about your buddy Dave. So anybody this clueless, this tone deaf, I feel like, wow, it's a head scratcher. Because by the way, and then he not only said, well, are you going to fire me for, basket workout, but like, when is enough? And I think everybody already did say it's enough. Like, awesome. You got rid of this guy. Ding dong, the witch is dead. There's a new guy in. Let's see what we can do moving forward. Isn't that the tone so far?
Yeah. Listen, Dave. All right. Maybe I didn't. I don't like to make fire and brimstone, like angry videos.
Right. I get that's not your thing.
It's not my thing, but I think I made it really clear. Like I'm removing the emotional response from this, and I'm just going to be like, I think I made it really clear that his argument of the slippery slope thing is really off base. Like it's just clearly wrong. It makes an equivalency between, like what you said is like, it makes an equivalency between, Greg Glassman's COVID-19 or Floyd-19 comment and his new sort of like, sexual harassment allegations, and something like programming the wrong workout at the CrossFit Games. It's a really fucked up equivalency that just doesn't pass the smell test. And I think part of it is Dave's ego. I think part of it is what you mentioned, is the idea of like being in a bubble and not being in tune with sort of where people are at and why they're upset about things. It seemed almost like he was brushing off all of the social media reaction as an overreaction. It's like, oh, well, that's social media, so that doesn't really matter in the real world at all. And while there is a lot of truth to that, like social media absolutely is not a reflection of the real world in any sense of that term, it is a reflection of how people feel. It's like you don't take their word for it for what they're saying, but you can infer a lot about the temperature gauge of the situation based off of how things are going.
Your community lives in the real world and on social. This isn't an 80-year-old man book club that only meet in person. Of course, the tone on social is a reflection of your community. Yes, it's not 1,000%, but of course it is.
Sure. And his response, his sort of take on it seemed almost like, man, Greg is a victim of cancel culture or whatever.
Right.
And listen, don't get me wrong. In a way, Greg absolutely is a victim of cancel culture. Absolutely. Because guess what? He's said and done a lot of really egregious shit in the past 12 years. And this just happens to be the straw that broke the camel's back. This could have happened a multitude of times in the past decade. And if this wasn't the thing, it could have happened a multitude of times in the next decade. Like this is just one example. And that almost proves the point of Greg Glassman not being the person that should be at the top of the organization in CrossFit, because it's like, oh yeah, well, it's kind of Greg being Greg, and this just happened to take place in the middle of a contextual powder keg, and he's like the cool guy in the movie who lights the cigarette and then flicks it into the pool of gasoline that lines up and goes into the warehouse that explodes.
Yes.
Exactly.
The cancel culture is the negative way I describe something where someone takes a mistake, a misstep, a phrase they shouldn't have said, and then we quote unquote cancel that person. Bringing down people is, I've watched pretty much every documentary on Epstein and on Weinstein, making us Jews look bad. And the latest one was called The Reckoning. And that's what's happening. Dudes, the fucking reckoning has come for you when you've gotten away with doing this shit for a long time. So with Glassman, yeah, if it wasn't Floyd 19, something else probably would have set the spark that lit the, oh, and by the way, his Wi-Fi password is, horny guy 69 or whatever the fuck.
The sexual harassment stuff, I think that needs some room to breathe. I think that needs to be explained a little bit more clearly and less salaciously. Because I think right now, so many of the articles that are coming out about that are like, look at how filthy this dirty old man is. And it's like, all right, well, yeah, look at how filthy this dirty old man is. But are we talking about filthy on what's the spectrum? Is it like Aziz Ansari or is it Harvey Weinstein? Like, which end of the spectrum are we at? And secondarily, what's the context? Because listen, I'm not here to defend his behavior, and I don't want to defend his behavior. I made it very clear, once that news dropped, the scenarios that were being described are unacceptable to me on a personal level. Like, I wouldn't want my wife working in a situation like that, or my mom working in a situation like that. But I think it needs to be borne out, right now, because it isn't really being clearly described, everyone just assumes it's on the Harvey Weinstein end of the spectrum, right? Without really knowing what side of the thing. I read an article in Business Insider that was talking about, oh, we got this recording from 2011 where he's having an argument with, his then girlfriend. And He like, threatens to like cut her throat. And it's like, he's not like threatening to like, I'm going to fucking cut your throat. He's like, they're in the middle of an argument and he says some fucked up shit in the middle of like a really emotional argument. In the same argument, he says stuff like, without you, I'm nothing. Like, what do I have that means anything to me without you actually caring about me? It's like, he says shit like that. It's like, oh, these are two fucking drunk people. They're both really emotional and they're saying stupid shit to each other. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, that is very different from like, I'm drugging and I'm Bill Cosbying women, or I'm Harvey Weinsteining women. Like, that's a really different scenario. And I think, I felt really uncomfortable reading that article because, to me, knowing some of the context around what they were talking about and what they were leaving out of that made it seem like, oh, well, you're just trying to like amp up how, clickbaity this story is without really saying whether the story is actually worth being told. And that to me is like, I don't see me saying this as a defense in Greg Glassman's name.
No, listen, you're doing your job. I listen to so Bill Simmons is my current favorite listen as a podcaster. And,
sure. Sports Guy 33.
What's that?
Sports Guy 33.
And I, interestingly enough, have gotten more into sports during COVID than I have in the last like 10 years. I found myself like listening to him and following a lot of stuff I didn't follow before. But, he has a basketball player. He had a basketball guy on who's an insider who's going to go to the bubble. And he's talking about how media is changing, how, once upon a time, if you were the local guy in the Red Sox locker room, you're going to get the exclusive. You build a relationship with these guys and that's it. Like, no one else is going to get that. Some out of towner isn't going to just show up one day. But now, like, athletes are taking it on themselves. So like, let's take your sport, Armen. Not only are you bringing us the news, but I bet you have athletes reaching out to you going, hey, I heard this. Is this true? Right? Like, you become a source for them, and they'll use you to put information out. Like, oh, hey, well, I want to tell my story. I'm going to go to this journalist that I trust. And he was talking about like, they'll tell you things that you can't run with. If they text you that they're pissed about a coach, you're not going to write like, hey, guess what's going on with this guy? Or he never talked to you again. But anyway, the thing he said, long way of me saying, he says, I've held things because I wasn't 100%. And I've gotten beat on the scoop because I was 95%. I don't want to be 95. I want to be 100. And I feel the same way, right? Because I know my competitors, or people who aren't even my competitors, just people with a fucking IG account, will run stuff. And it's like, you got to wait an hour to be 100 and you might lose. So anyway, I'm saying I get that. And what you're saying is this guy probably did all this horrible shit, but we need to decide, I think that's a perfect example. Is it Aziz or is it Weinstein? It certainly seems like it leans more towards Weinstein, but you want to say, before I make some massive statements about this guy, I'd like to see a little bit more evidence, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And
which I think, because again, I pointed out too, I said, why does every article have this stupid Wi-Fi wet pussy? Who gives a fuck?
Because that's all they have. Because that's all they have. And it's like,
is that really all they have? Don't they?
Yeah,
okay, so let me ask you, what about women saying, the travel was booked and there was only one room, like that kind of thing?
That's gross. That's super gross. But that type of thing, I'm not an investigative journalism team. I don't have all those people on my Rolodex. I don't even know half those people are, because it's all anonymous. So if it's legal action, if it's something like a Harvey Weinstein or a Bill Cosby situation, guess what? The law enforcement is going to be involved. And I am not interested in like being the guy who like gets deposed because I interviewed an anonymous source and then reported on it without having 100% confirmation. And suddenly I'm involved in some sort of like legal action. Like, that isn't what I'm here to do. And secondarily, there are people who are interested in participating in doing that, like New York Times, Business Insider, like, whatever, you name it, the BuzzFeed. They're all trying to report and investigate this process. But I'm not an investigative journalism team. I'm not going to go and look up and find, the people and the sources involved in this. Like,
but
I have the people that I talk to.
But what if I told you that people trust you more than fucking BuzzFeed, who are trying to get clicks?
They shouldn't trust BuzzFeed. They should trust me. So that's why I'm saying, like, when we see an article like that and the only thing they all hang their hat on is this Wi-Fi password being, kind of like, oh, okay, it's like a horny guy 69 Wi-Fi password. To me, what that says is that either A, they don't have anything else that's really that like interesting or exciting to tell people about. Either they don't have it or they can't talk about it, or there's a lot more going on and that's all that they can really like tease people with at this point. And in either situation, like, I'm not equipped to do the 0 to 100 legwork of getting that information out.
You've been doing some of it?
Of course, I've talked to a lot of people about the details of this, but like you said, like, I'm not going to run with, anonymous source says X, Y, or Z without having any sort of confirmation. But like, the situation, the position that I'm in isn't one of investigative journalist.
All right. Well, so let me put it to you this way. And we're just talking out loud. We're figuring this out. If Joe DeSena was involved in something similar, people would be like, holy shit, Matt, you got to find out for us. You're the guy, right? And I would feel like I did need to make a lot of phone calls, and I wouldn't report on anything that wasn't like that I couldn't go with. Like, but you know what I'm saying? And you're kind of that guy, I feel like. Even though there's more of you over there than there is me, I feel like I'd have to.
Okay. I mean, I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying isn't that I'm not talking to or interested in talking to people.
You're not going to hang the guy unnecessarily. I get that. Let me ask you this. I was talking to your and my friend, Anders. Okay. And he was like, oh, everybody knows this guy's kind of a creep. Look at this video. There was some video series where like this girl's in her fucking underwear in the hotel. And I was like,
Allison. Yeah.
I was like, what am I watching? What is this?
Yeah.
And I get that it's 2020 and maybe it wouldn't have seemed as bad back then, but I kind of do think it would have been as bad back then.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
What did you guys think back in 2012 when that was happening?
CrossFit has always had a very, sex forward image, but I'm not 100% convinced that that's a bad thing.
That's not criminal behavior.
No, and I don't even think it's immoral behavior. Like listen, in early 2010s, the early 2000 tweens, when CrossFit was in its boom,
right,
and everyone was trying to figure out what this thing was, of course, you're going to market your fitness program that mostly, by the way, by percentage, the majority are women who are participating in it. You're going to market it by using hot chicks. Right. That to me is a no-brainer. Someone who's like in their lingerie, or like they did this on the main site. They put pictures of women doing pull-ups, but they're from the pictures from the back, but they're all topless. So you see their backs. It's like, ooh, very fucking salacious. But that was a big deal. People were freaking like, this is a family website. I don't understand why we're here and looking at this. And it's like, all right, dude, relax.
So why aren't your thumbnails filled with CrossFit Fleo short shorts with American flags on them? Why aren't that all your thumbnails?
Because I aspire to something different.
But you made it seem like, oh, well, that's what you have to go with. You have to market hot chicks' asses.
Yeah, that's what they were doing, and that's
but you made it sound like they have no choice.
No choice. No. Best choice. Like most effective option for what they're trying to do. If you're trying to get clicks, like, you can look at any Instagram account. What are the biggest fucking Instagram accounts? It's like the Instagram chicks that are just like, oh my God, look, I can do deadlifts. And it's just a picture, like a video of their butt doing deadlifts. It's like, oh great, of course you're going to get 100,000 likes on that video.
Right. So, but why would CrossFit try to be like some fucking thirsty IG person?
This was before there was thirsty IG people. I'm saying they understood that sex sells in fitness.
Sex sells everything. Dude,
that's right.
Dude, I will tell you that we have written 10,000 articles and posted 10,000 things. And once in a great while, I will put somebody in a photo that I know is like, well, this is kind of a hot chick, so it's not bad, right? Like once in a while, because sure. Right?
Of course.
But you're making it sound like they're doing it because they had no choice, and that's how you grow a company. You seem to be giving them this massive pass. That's what I don't understand.
No,
Like, of course they did that.
What I'm saying is I understand the explanation about why that type of content was being produced. And I don't think that type of content is inherently illegal or immoral. That's what I'm saying. So it's like you can't. I want to say you can't string them up to dry for having. They had like this whole marketing thing with Reebok. By the way, they had this whole marketing thing with Reebok that was cheat on your girlfriend, not on your workout. And at that point, we were like, that's fucking stupid. Why would you say that? That doesn't make any sense. So like, that's where the line gets crossed, right? That's where it's like, okay, the message here does not make any sense. Why would you say this? And they had a whole nother one that was like CrossFit, turning 7s to 10s. And it was like chicks getting fitter across the commercials.
But there's nothing wrong with wanting to move up to a 10 though.
What I'm saying is like you can say like, look, yeah, I don't agree with this, or I wouldn't use this in my content, or my content isn't about these things, but it's a universal fact that
you're a solid 7, Armen, I would say.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Solid
Without
7.
The bullet, it's like a 4.5, honestly.
Right. You're solid 7.
Pulling its weight. What I'm saying is you can't string them up for like,
and let's not
isn't
again
moral or illegal.
I agree. But let me ask you this. The thing about the hotel room is where the line gets drawn, right? Or not, where one of the lines gets drawn, because I just had someone on that actually is part of this case with Weinstein, which is great. I actually know her. I'll air it. You won't listen. But what I said to her was, listen, like, guys in general say and do creepy things. Every guy listening, including the 2 people on this call, have said or done something they regret that probably was creepy. It's just fucking nature of things. Put a person in a position of power, and now they're doing those things, sometimes not even intentionally, but just because of the nature of the business. So this one woman on this recent documentary is like talking about the women who set up the meetings and how they're kind of worse, right? Like they're kind of worse because
they're like the Ghislaine Maxwells of the world.
Well, Ghislaine is the extreme, of course. But if there's a woman, okay, who is Harvey's assistant, you get a job on a movie, right? And they call you and they go, how's it going? Everything good? You got your hotel for the thing? You got your per diem? Awesome. Cool. All right. By the way, Harvey's going to meet you tonight for dinner. Cool. Okay, great. See you later. Bye. Right? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you're the assistant just helping me, but now here's this other like pimp situation. It got so bad. The reason I talk about flights, or the thing came up, was, okay, so you're going to fly back. I know the shoot's over. You're going to fly back on Harvey's plane. She's like, nope, I'm going to fly my own flight. No, we got it. You're going to fly with Harvey. Like really creepy shit. They ended up fucking like getting her bags. Like, it was fucking insane. But anyway, the point is, so if he books a trip, right, and is like, you know what I'm saying? And they just think, well, this is a work trip, so I guess it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. Are you saying, do I think it's okay for him to book a single room for him and a female subordinate? No, it's not okay.
Okay, so my question here. So here's the question I was going with. Sorry, here's the question I was going with. Harvey was this open secret. Everyone knows he's an asshole. He's a jerk. He's a bully. He's also a sexual predator. Just don't be alone in the room with Harvey. Was that the sentiment at CrossFit, or no? Was this an open secret about him, about Glassman and HQ in general?
I think it was, if you were in the know, it was no secret that Greg loved women and he loved drinking and he loved partying. That was no secret. In fact, chances are, if you met him sometime between, let's say, 2011 and 2015, he was probably lit, because he was at an event that you would meet him at. And at those events, he drinks for free. He parties for free, and he likes to party. So the guy likes his women and he likes his alcohol. And that wasn't unknown. But if you're asking if like Was it an open secret that he was taking advantage of women on his staff? No, I never heard anything like that. The guy has multiple kids with multiple women. His marriage to Lauren Glassman, now Lauren Janai, ended because he cheated on her with I believe it was Lisa Lugo at that time. His relationship with Lisa Lugo ended because he cheated on her with somebody else. He's married now and he has, a few new kids, but he has like 8 or 9 kids or something like that with multiple women. So like you're looking at a pattern of behavior, but again, you're talking about things that are like, morally reprehensible, but is it illegal? Is it like, listen, morally reprehensible is exactly and precisely that. It is morally reprehensible. But the saying, don't throw stones in a glass house. Everyone has done morally questionable shit. So if we're going to string him up for something that's morally reprehensible, you're going to fucking remove everybody from everything, because at some point they've all done something, and you can find a handful of people that are going to be exceptionally shocked or upset about some behavior, right? So to me, the line has to be drawn with like, are we blowing this story up because it's morally not something we agree with, or are we blowing the story up because there should and have to be real consequences for it? Because if it's like, if it isn't a situation in which there are legal consequences, as in he did something like actually sexually assault people or have like battery or God forbid rape or whatever, like if those are the cases, string him the fuck up. He deserves to be strung up. He needs to be strung up. He needs to be used as an example. But if it's a situation where like, yeah, this guy who's the boss dated a couple of his underlings and it's pretty gross and it's kind of weird, but is it really weird? Like he was single, they were all partying. It wasn't really like what's going on.
It's
like
funny, you keep using the word partying. I haven't used that word since high school. Hey man, you're gonna party? Let's party.
That was what seemed to be, that was what like I didn't know Greg Glassman personally or anyone at CrossFit HQ staff personally for years. And the two out of the 3 times that I met Greg Glassman before the past few years, 2 out of the 3 times he was knocked off his rocker. And that was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like the guy likes to drink. Everybody knew that. That was like a thing. Right. So it's like, again, that doesn't excuse bad behavior. You can get drunk and like murder somebody and you're still responsible for murder. But what I'm saying is like, that was the quote unquote known secret. It wasn't like this really weird and dangerous and illegal type behavior. And that's what deserves to be exposed if it gets exposed.
What's up, buddy? What do you need, buddy?
Oh my God, just come.
Jackson, can you tell him I'll be there in a minute?
Yeah, he'll be there in a minute.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe
I 100% see what you're saying.
Because here's the thing. I know that I am not unique in this position. I might be unique in that I'm publicly explaining this position and that I am actually publicly holding this position. But I know for a fact that I'm not unique in this position. To me, I have the most reasonable position of anyone involved because like I'm not extremely sympathetic or apologetic or letting go of behavior that should be, either pointed out or vilified or even punished on the extreme end. And I'm not also just like calling for people's heads. This isn't just a Greg Glassman thing. And this isn't just a CrossFit thing. This is how I feel about a lot of things. It's like there has to be a line drawn between, what elicits a reaction, and the reaction needs to be proportional to the behavior. A perfect example of reaction that is like unproportional to behavior, disproportional to behavior, is what we've been seeing a lot on the internet with like Karens, right? this whole Karen video thing is so hilarious to watch, and it's so entertaining, but most of the time it's really cringy for everybody
disturbing.
involved.
It's very disturbing.
It's very disturbing because, listen, you're watching people have absolute meltdowns that should be dealt with in a proportional way. They should have consequences for those meltdowns, but it's not a proportional response for millions of people on the internet to call them, fucking cunts and bitches and light them up and find where they live and work and get them fired and shit. Like,
right.
That's not a proportional response.
Doxing, as they say. So there's there's one from a Walmart from a couple days ago that's making around.
Have not seen that one.
And the guy is like, I feel threatened. And he's like yelling, I feel threatened to this woman as he approaches her. And she's like backing away. And I thought, I was at an airport with my wife and kids and lost it over the fact that like we couldn't board sooner. And I remember like I had one of the kids and the kid was screaming, and I just basically like bulldozed my way to the front and was kind of screaming. And my wife, we got to the jetway and she goes, honey, you need to calm down. Like in a voice that she'd never used before, but it was like the equivalent of smacking me in the face. And I realized what a lunatic I just was.
Yeah.
And I remember like I had to then get on the plane, and I literally wanted to go by every seat. Like, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Like I fucking lost it. Now, looking back, as I've been diagnosed bipolar, I think I was having sort of a fucking moment, right? Doesn't excuse it, but like I haven't done that in a long time, certainly since I've been on meds. But I thought if someone filmed that, I could have been that guy. Because in about 9 to 12 to 20 seconds, I was a fucking lunatic with a screaming child and get out of my way. Like I was a fucking lunatic. So
of course, everyone has bad moments.
But I'm saying that, but I think we all forget. I forgot about that moment until I saw that guy and I was like, ooh, that's kind of like me on the plane that time. Now this guy was wearing like an America First shirt and is probably a fucking, probably sports Trump and is probably a horrible person. So, but I'm not going to message, let's find where this fucker works and light him up.
So, and there are also situations you speak of like, bipolar. I saw one recently, like my wife showed me one and I was like, this woman has a mental health issue. Right. Like we're watching somebody with a mental health issue get fucking lit up on the internet as a joke. And everyone's reaction is just to fucking film it and talk about her after the fact. Like, there isn't really much you can do to calm down a stranger who's having a manic episode or is schizophrenic. You just can't. You might have to call the police. You might have to. But filming it and putting it on the fucking internet for everyone to laugh at later is poisonous to the foundations of fucking society and civilization. And it's like, that's where we're at now. There's a disproportional response. Like kids, imagine all the shit that we did as teenagers or children growing up. Imagine it living forever on the internet.
Oh.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. People are getting high profile people are losing jobs for shit that they did in the last like 5 years. That was totally fine 5 years ago. Everyone was like, haha, that's hilarious.
Right. Yeah. God forbid you have a bad old tweet with a bad joke.
And that's exactly my point. There needs to be an understanding that everyone reaches where it's a proportional response to bad behavior. Like when a kid fucks up, you don't delete their entire future. You fix the problem and you punish them accordingly.
Well, you try to fix that's a whole nother thing. Hey, Jackson, can you shut my door, please? No, I think about this stuff. My daughter's on Instagram a lot, and I'm, in many ways, I'm hoping it's a phase because she's got this, and I've talked about this before. She's got this sort of like idea of what she should be doing on there, but at some point she'll change or not. Where was I going with this? Yeah, it's, and that's why I don't watch a lot of that stuff. Like I don't share those kind of videos. I'll tell you what I do share. Tell you who's really good is I always forget her fucking name. The woman who does the Trump impressions, Sarah
No clue.
Cooper.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, Sarah Cooper. Look her up later. She just takes little quotes of Trump and she just sort of like lip syncs it, but in a way that's unbelievable. She's got a gift. Because I don't watch Trump speeches, but I watch this lady do her version of Trump speeches, and they are just. I'll send it to you later. She's amazing.
Okay.
She's the one I watch. I don't watch a lot of that stuff. Well, listen, you should have your own show. You're a really great guest. Okay, have you reached out to Castro to try to get an interview?
Yes.
And what has his response been so far?
Are you gonna come?
No.
Buddy, you got to give me a minute. Remember I said I'm getting on a call and please don't come in here?
His response has either been ignoring it or no. That said, Castro and I have actually exchanged relatively pleasant words via DM in the past couple months.
And I don't mean
which is the first time the entire time that I've known him and he's known me.
What about when you saw him at the last games?
Are you kidding me? No way. There's not. We do not have any. Dave Castro and I. When you say buddies, we're not buddies. We're not even acquaintances. The last time I saw him in person and actually like walked up to him to say hi was the first time I'd ever introduced myself to him in person. He knew who I was. I knew who he was, and we had never talked to each other in person. And it was a very tense and disgruntled exchange that was all of 5 words and very clearly set the tone for where he sees our future professional relationship as.
So in the 2019 games, I watched you in your little camera in some live feeds from other people, right? They had little post press events, right?
Yep.
After each day of the games, little dais up there. Did you approach him before or after those? Like, hey, can I get a few minutes when you have some time?
No.
Because why?
Not interested.
Not interested?
No. Think of it like a game, Matt B. Davis. The game is acquiring points. The way that Dave wins and acquires points in those situations is by someone doing exactly what you're describing. The way that I win and acquire points is by providing valuable contextual information. Those are mutually exclusive. Talking to Dave would not provide me with any valuable or contextual information, but it would give him points. And so doing sort of like a face-to-face interview or trying, which I would not have been able to do, trying to do a face-to-face interview with him at the games and getting shot down would not help me, and it would not help what I'm trying to do. It wouldn't forward my content, is what I'm trying to say. The times in which I found it valuable to try and talk to him, he said no to my responses or completely ignored me.
I'm not expecting you to like get him in some huge gotcha, light him up interview, but just, hey,
I don't want to do that either.
I know you don't. So, hey man, you're the new guy. I'd love to talk to you. Like that just doesn't, that seems like a good reason to reach out to a guy. Hey Dave, you're the CEO now. Love to chat with you about all things CrossFit. You have some time next week.
Like I said, I've talked to him a little bit, but I'm not gonna make an effort to have I'm not gonna make an effort to have like a sit down interview with him or a long form interview with him or really any sort of interview with him until a couple other things happen.
Okay.
And I think it's like it's really hard for that statement to like live without a lot of context, because it either makes me look like I have like a vendetta against him or like I'm not willing to do certain work or whatever. And none of those things are true. What I'm basically saying is I have an understanding of where things lie and what is going on that provides context that does not make it very valuable for me.
Dude, you're picking your moment. I get it, dude. I get it. There's a lot of moving pieces and parts and
Right.
And
the reason why I'm not providing that context for you, you get it. You live in the same world as I do, right? There are people that you interview and you're like, man, if I had waited 3 weeks or 5 weeks or, whatever, I would have had a much better interview out of this person.
right.
But the reason why I'm explaining that is I think people don't understand that. I get that a lot on my comments section. You sent me that one comment. That was hilarious.
What did I say? What did I say?
Sent me like the longest YouTube comment you've ever gotten.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you said, and then he deleted it and you said also common.
Yeah. Very common. Both very long and deleted.
Tell me why that is. Cause I'm confused. I'm very new to the YouTube world. Mostly I'm on IG.
It's like anything, right? Here's you ever heard that saying, your reaction to something tells someone more about you than it does about that thing?
Correct.
Think about what the reasoning people have about commenting on things like YouTube or Instagram.
Because they want to be right or whatever.
They just want to have said something. The thing that they're saying is almost meaningless. It's like I have people that comment on my YouTube channel. They're like super regular. They're like my biggest fans. They're either really critical or but they're always engaged. And it's the act of engagement that matters. What they're actually talking about is like secondary or even tertiary to that. It's the act of engagement that matters for both of us, for myself and for that person. And it's the same thing in that YouTube comment. The length of that YouTube comment was, I've got to get this off my chest. I'm trying to prove a point here or whatever. Not, I need you to understand what it is I'm saying. It's, I have to say this, not you need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So the act of typing it out and sending it is the action that they're looking for. And the feeling of having to hit send or enter or whatever is what they're looking for. And I'm saying this, and it might sound like but that's why I comment on shit too. Because I'm like, you know what? If I want to actually start a conversation, I'm going to reach out to somebody in person. Right. Or one-on-one. I'm not going to comment on a YouTube channel and be like, fucking, you're totally wrong about this shit. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's why I hate Reddit.
I'm never on Reddit. And just for context, this is just a person on the latest Murph video. Basically how everything I said and did was wrong. And basically that was it. So
at least he was polite. He wished you a good day and happy travels. Very polite.
At the end?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Polite. I read the comment. You didn't read your own comment? Anyway, so my point is it's very common to get long or intense comments and then for them to be deleted afterwards because they've served their purpose.
But here's the thing. So Facebook and Instagram, in my experience, mostly is like, someone says something and then I never need to comment. I learned this early on. Then the community sort of battles it out. I think Joe's an asshole. I think Joe has some good points. Well, what do you think? Like that sort of this dialogue sort of takes place. And I've done my job as medium. Here's the news, like do your thing, community. But YouTube, it seems, I don't know, more vicious, like more like Reddit.
Vicious. Yeah,
why? Because they can be anonymous, right?
Correct. Part of it is because they can be anonymous. I think part of it is also just the culture that's been built inside of YouTube comments. It's like,
so Twitter and YouTube, because you can be anonymous, people are just fuckheads.
Sure. I think that gives a lot of weight to it, right? I think it gives a lot of weight to it. And like I said, part of it is also the culture that's been built there. Like Twitter and YouTube both carry and a little bit of Reddit. They carry like this, the DNA of early internet forums.
Right.
Like that's where they have spawned from. Facebook doesn't really have that. Instagram doesn't really have that. But like, Twitter and YouTube and Reddit, places where you can directly reply to a comment and create these long chains. Like this happened to Facebook once they started doing that. You can directly reply to comments, but it carries the DNA of that fucking awful, cutthroat, everyone is wrong except for you mindset. And
because Facebook next to your comment is a picture of your face.
Yeah.
And people still say horrible things. Right.
It's so dumb. It makes no sense. Why would you say that? It's like, you know what? Here's a rule you can follow. Don't comment or say some shit that you wouldn't say to them in person.
Yeah, but horrible people always say they would say it in person anyway.
Well, they're wrong. I guarantee you the people that listen, here's how I know. Even someone like Dave Castro, who is the target of a lot of bullshit on the internet, well deserved, by the way, does not get any of that shit in person. Maybe it's because they know he could kill them. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe it's because people are pussies in person.
Because he's strong?
No, because he was a Navy SEAL, and that is literally what his job was for like 20 years.
Right.
You know, there's like, you can talk a lot of shit, and then when you realize the person you're talking to is Brock Lesnar, you stop talking shit in person. You know what I mean? When you go like, you know what, I'm going to meet you at the fucking coffee shop down the street, dog. Let's do this. And you walk in and Brock Lesnar's like, you're like, okay, hey buddy, just kidding. Would you like a mocha? Would you like a croissant? Perhaps a chocolat croissant?
That's how I pronounce that word as well. That's how also I say.
A croissant de chocolat? A croissant de fromage? Croissant de chocolat? Fromage. A croissant de framboise? A croissant de framboise? A croissant de bonbon? I'm just saying.
This is the hard-hitting journalism people expect from Armen, the Sponge TV.
Here's what people don't expect. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you right now. People expect a lot of things from me, but what they don't expect and what they don't know is that what I'm actually talking to them about is what it means to be a human being.
Oh.
How's that? Yeah. I would mic drop, but I actually like this microphone. So there you go.
You just dropped the fucking mic, dude.
Did you hear it? It dropped again.
Why don't we hear more from that guy?
What, the life guy?
Just that's yeah. Like, say that on a show.
I don't know. Sometimes you bring it out on me, Matt B. Davis. It's a beautiful thing.
I've had conversations with my wife on this show, and she always thinks, why would people be interested in this? And it's the shit they're most interested in. They're like, oh my God, I love your wife. I think this exact way about this thing. Because my wife has like no pretense with that shit, right? My wife is just like, you know what I mean? Especially with me, because she trusts me. So, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, you should go there.
I thank you. I appreciate you saying that. People, anytime Katie is on my channel, all I get is just a flood of comments of like, less you, more Katie.
Right, of course. No, of course. People love to do that. But seriously though, like, yeah, I think we need more of that. We need more of what does it mean to be a human being? Like I think we need more of that. There is so much. The longer I've done this, the more I see how fucking lazy everybody is. Like, just from your local news, which is usually a joke anyway, but just even the national news, like, I think I told you, like, when I started, like, it was all I could think of. It's like, oh my God, if Runner's World would contact me or retweet me or Outside or any of these, or even ESPN or whatever. And it's like, they're the laziest fucking people. They have very low standards. They're about a 5-minute news cycle. And if it's going to take any more work than that, they're not bothering.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And that is coupled, by the way, with an inflated sense of self-importance.
Right. And the truth is their value is going down.
Correct.
As new media comes up. I actually, a lot has happened here in the last few weeks in terms of like Atlanta for all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, I probably could have put out some really good stuff if I had put some time into it and if I really wanted to. And it's not like that I didn't want to, but like, I'm literally 2 miles from that Wendy's. Okay. And I was like, I'm going to go run by there. Like, it's 2 miles. I can go for a run and see it. And it's like, if I brought my camera and just interviewed a couple of people, just got some real feedback, I'd get more than my local news or just as much. So anyway, yes, we need more people like you in the world. Armen Hammer TV.
Right back at you, Mappy Davis. Safety is our number one priority.
Still. Absolutely.
As always.
As it always has been. Let's wrap it up. This one I'm going to put this one out like today, because otherwise if I wait, it won't get up.
You know, God knows we've been talking for a little over an hour. I'm sure some crazy shit has happened.
Go look at your Twitter. What is the first thing you check in the morning?
Twitter,
Second thing you check?
email.
Third thing you check? Do you check them in bed or do you get up and get going?
No, I check it in bed.
Okay, don't do that. Tell you how to live your life better. You want me to tell you how to live your life better?
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying I'm doing it right. I have a ton of bad habits, but I say I think about it a lot. That's basically where I'm at.
What if you put the phone in another room?
I don't have any trouble getting out of bed in the mornings.
You just said you looked at your phone in the bed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I have trouble getting out of bed. That's just where I like to check Twitter and Instagram.
Right. If I truly don't want to look at it, I have to put it in the other room. Otherwise, if I get up, it'll be the first thing I do too. So interesting. You go to Twitter first.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of news breaks there, but like that's never where I consume your stuff. I consume your stuff on Instagram or YouTube.
Oh, I don't like using Twitter. I don't think I have a good handle. I don't really like social media in general, which is why my Instagram page is like once every 4 days I post something. But when I do post something, it fucking pops. You know what I mean? My point is get a wax, dude. Jesus, that's a hairy chest.
I'm all man, baby. No waxing for me.
My point is I like Twitter is my preferred version of consumption of social media.
Got it.
It's my preferred consumption. I don't like Instagram because Instagram's fake as shit. I like Twitter because, you know, the way people say things sometimes tells you more about them than what they're actually saying. And so I like to read through that experience and get a feel of what people are thinking and doing.
I used to like Facebook. And so I would look at stuff on Facebook and look at what my friends are doing or whatever. And then I'd see news things in there. I'm like, oh, this happened today. This guy died, whatever. But now Facebook is such a disgusting cesspool of garbage, which includes links to things that are fake and articles that people can't tell the difference between a fucking Onion article and like these far right and far left things that aren't even true. You know what I mean? So now, honestly, because I started watching YouTube at night in bed, it's kind of become my preferred news thing. Like,
I would agree with that.
The highlights, that there's a 2-minute video. Like, obviously, they like Trump, Corona. I skip all those.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like, you know, Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. Fuck yeah, let me watch that video. You know, this sports thing happened. Let me watch, you know, what's his name's take. Let me watch Pat McAfee's take on this sports thing that happened. Okay, that's how I get my news that way. YouTube has surprisingly become my news source.
Yeah, the only reason why I still have Facebook is because of Messenger.
Yes,
I haven't actively used Facebook in probably 2 years, maybe longer.
You shouldn't.
No, I'm never going back. It's a cesspool, like you said.
It's disgusting.
But yeah, my consumption of news is basically through YouTube channels that do commentary. So like I can adjust for the bias and understand sort of what it is they're talking about, and I like the way that they do content, and I learn about my craft at the same time as I, you know, learn things.
Dude, I always go, yep, I'm doing shit better than that guy is. My wife started watching PBS, the PBS NewsHour, which I know sounds whatever, but it's actually quite good.
I'll keep that in mind. I haven't watched that. I watch almost none of the news that I get comes from any sort of network.
Right. I don't know how she found it at first, but it's like a little 30-minute show, and it's usually pretty good.
Plus, I've already peaked in terms of being involved in news networks. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of the big ones, but I was in an NPR segment talking about this whole CrossFit thing.
When?
At the very beginning, when Greg Glassman, after he tweeted the Floyd 19 thing.
Why didn't you tell me this?
Did I not tell you?
You never told me this.
All right,
I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it right. Okay, let's insert the clip there. I won't remember to, but if I do, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I was in an NPR clip. I was on Here and Now.
Armen. So they reached out to you?
Yeah.
Did they reach out to anybody else?
No.
They didn't talk to.
No, Justin was busy talking to like New York Times and shit. But I don't read the New York Times, and I do listen to NPR, so it was really cool.
How long did they talk to you?
We had like a 45-minute interview that got cut into like 30 seconds of my audio and like a like, 600 or 700 word article.
When I Google Armen Hammer here and now, I get when they talk to MC Hammer.
Here, I'll see if I can find it.
I found it.
You found it?
I found it. Yep. It wants me to sign up.
Don't sign up for anything unless you're signing up to pay one of us. You hear that?
Exactly.
The only people you should be supporting are independent creators. Do you have a budget, Mappy Davis, for
Armen Hammer, a popular CrossFit commentator, said the tweet was incredibly inflammatory, insensitive, and thoughtless. Good for you. You got 3 eyes in there. Alliteration always sells.
Thank you.
What were you asking me?
I was asking you, do you have a budget, since you do the Patreon thing, so you are supported by your community? Do you have a budget for like part of that being given back, like other creators that you find and support?
Yeah, I give to my buddies Mike and Caitlin at the Obstacle Running Adventures podcast. And then I give to this trail and ultra guy that I like, the Ultra Runner podcast. And I have given to others over time and then took them down. But those two I've been giving like $2 a month to for like years. And I just don't even think about it.
Thing.
At the end of the month, it just takes it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Don't you give to somebody?
Of course.
I don't like anybody else in your space.
I've signed up for dozens of OnlyFans accounts. Dozens.
What if you and I did an OnlyFans?
Dude, we would literally get OnlyFans. That's very true. That's very true.
I told you, dude, I try to watch your compatriots or your whatever, and like
my peers
can't do it. I told you that one guy that started doing a lot lately. I'm like, oh, you're not even good, but you're putting stuff out every day, so you're getting some. He's clickbaity as fuck, and his stuff isn't even good. What's his name? You don't want to say it. You don't want to say it.
What's his name? Like there's a couple people in our space that have been growing over the past couple months. Craig Ritchie is the classic. He was the first one, but what he does is very different than anything that I do.
Right.
And then there's Nate Edwardson,
Nate is the guy who I think is clickbaity as crap and no good. I watched so the reason I saw him was because I was looking into how my own search was doing around the Murph record. And he's like, let me compare Hunter to what's his name at the games. And I was like, this is not like great insight what you're giving me.
Yeah, listen, I'll be, to be totally honest with you, I don't like or watch anybody else's content in terms of the CrossFit space because I don't like or watch any of it. It's just not that interesting to me. The content that I'm interested in isn't happening in our space because that's why you provide it. Yeah, that's why I make it. I make it because no one else is making the content that I want to watch.
I 100% feel the same way. There are dozens of podcasts and most of them aren't good. And some of them I try to listen to for a while. Sometimes maybe if they have a guest on, but usually the guests that they have, I've had on 15 times. You know what I mean?
That said, Mappy Davis, I will say this. I know how difficult it is to be an independent content creator, and I know what type of mindset it takes to do it. And I'm very proud of all those people for sticking to it and creating what they're trying to create. And I understand the game that is being played as well. I just don't want to play certain games, and that's totally fine that everybody is in a different boat. But I think generally speaking, I'm just going to assume a lot of good faith in both the community of creators that I'm a part of, as well as the community of fans and spectators that I'm a part of. But
part of me sometimes wishes there were, because like I have to do all of the heavy lifting all the time.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like if I'm going to do some investigative journalism on a crappy race or a crappy product or a crappy person, which I've done, and attempt to lay out a really, like, it takes work to write a good article that's here's this, you decide. I'm not gonna like, that's what good investigative journalism is. Then I'm gonna go to the podcast and we can do this and I can have hot take after hot take, right? And you see what I'm saying? Like, I wish, like, I'd love to have like the Bill Simmons network situation. That's why I think I like that show. It's like, wow, I would love that, because then I could have people doing different shows and I could focus on one thing or the other. I also just like, there'd be more to get. Like, you might read a quote from something Justin got, and that gives you some ideas because he got it. Nobody else is getting anything. Sorry. Like,
right.
Like, I wish my competitors would do better so that then I could actually, you know what I'm saying? It gives me more space to like go, oh, but I'm getting all the quotes usually.
Right. No, I see what you're saying. And I think there's a reason why the only like organization and the only people that I talk to regularly, like weekly or even more often than weekly, are Morning Chalk Up, Justin and his managing editor, Joe. Like I talk to them on a regular basis because we have to compare notes because we're the only people that are doing what we're doing. And we also are two sides of the same coin, right? He does a lot of journalism, very straight based reporting. And what I do is the commentary and analysis of that end. So basically almost everything that I'm doing is some sort of an op-ed, but it has to be based on fact.
Right.
So like we have to work well together. And I think those types of relationships are incredibly valuable. And I'm sorry that you're stuck being, wearing every hat in your space.
And something you and I have talked about offline is when I see someone making great content and it happens, like I see somebody making some like cool videos and I'm like, awesome. Like we should maybe work together. And like, no, I want to do my own thing. And I'm like, great. Like you're going to get like no views for a long time and then you're going to quit. And then then you don't want to come over and work with me because you've burnt out. You're like, all right, I'm moving on to something else. So yeah, it's been super duper frustrating in that regard. And I've said this and it's a weird thing to say, but yes, I want more competition. So if you're out there listening, fans of obstacle racing, and you found this show and you think, well, fuck Matt, I'm going to start doing that, do that. But people, this is what people do wrong. The thing that we talked about earlier, they want to get the clickbait. They think that's the way to win. So they do that and have built no trust. So if you don't build any trust, then like they're thinking about 5 minutes ahead instead of 5 years ahead, right? They have no long-term plan. And so they don't build any relationships. And like I said, they go after the same, same 10 interviews. Hey, let's talk to Ryan Atkins again. It's like, all right, well, not really going to break any news there. So it takes a very special individual, which is why I have so much respect for you, Armen Hammer.
Thank you, Matt B. Davis.
Let's not whack each other off all day.
Do you watch Bob Menery?
Who's that?
I'll send you some Bob Menery after this.
What does he cover?
He's a comedian. He's a funny guy. He has a great sports commentary voice, like a fake sports commentary voice. So he takes
the urinating tree.
No, I don't know what that is. He takes like clips on the internet and he does like sports commentary over them, even if they're not real sports.
Is it the Australian guy?
It's not the Australian guy, but that guy's really funny. It's not the Australian guy. No, Bob Menery is. I'll send you some of his stuff.
Well, there's a channel called Urinating Tree where he does this sports voice, but he does like some insightful stuff. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Menery is just hilarious. I'll text you some of his stuff.
Okay. All right. Everybody go to Armen Hammer TV. Check out Armen to give you not hot takes, but well thought out commentary in the world of CrossFit and soon UFC.
I guess. I have a thing. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
If you and I both learn a little bit about UFC, we could together make a good channel, but go ahead.
What I was going to say is I can't really, when are you releasing this? Today is the 9th. When are you actually publishing this?
Tell me why it matters and I'll tell you.
I want to talk about, I want to potentially tease this little online event thing.
That you're doing? Have you launched yet?
No, I have not launched yet. That's why I'm asking why.
Okay. Well, if you're going to wait, I can wait.
No, you don't have to wait.
Okay.
That's a perfect tease.
Okay.
I'm doing something online to bring people together, folks.
All right.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. I'm going to end right there.